The way I am going to be serious in second semester, when they release an assignment, I am submitting the same day, right? When they send an email says the classes have been cancelled, I am going to attend by force, right? When they say the library has been closed while I'm in the library, campus control won't do nothing, even security won't do nothing. They need to call the National Defense Force to remove me. Hey, be tunana.
Good morning, guys. My name is Sagwadi Wakarabutla and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope I'm not suffering alone. I hope we are all awake. See the time? Oh gosh, I need to do those fancy digital ones. Anyway, guys, guys, you have to choose it. Second semester, it's either you want me hot or you want the information. At this time, I choose the information. But this is decent. Anyway, okay, guys. So we are going to get right into it. We are going to do company law assignment 2. I haven't had much time to be online because it's been, I think I'll do a story time on my becoming a attorney segment because you. Anyway, now we're gonna do assignment 2. I never want us to see that last minute thing I did. Like, I had no chance to record, but I'm so sorry. I'm gonna do my best, my very best, to be very consistent, even if it means I have to study and then when I'm about to sleep or nap, whatever that students do, I record looking like this. Second semester, yo, am I feeling it or am I feeling it? Okay, let us get right into question 1 of company law assignment 2 that is due on the 18th of September. I believe that by the 5th, everyone should have submitted. If there's something that I've learned with company law is that, you have to love writing. Because, my sister, you must elaborate. I almost thought it said it feels like writing out particulars of claim. I wrote particulars of claim once, Jay, in an exam, so I don't have in-depth, but oh gosh. Guys, for 10 marks, look. One, two, three. This is 10 marks, guys. And this is, anyway, let's get right into the video. Okay. Barbara is a business rescue practitioner of Thirsty Elephants, a company that is under business rescue. She can. Imagine in court, the English lives like this. But it came with a skip. I'm joking. She convenes a meeting of the creditors of Thirsty Elephants to discuss and vote on business rescue plan. The business rescue plan contains ample provisions that protect the interests of secured creditors of Thirsty Elephants. Wine Packers, a secured creditor of Thirsty Elephants, holding 27% of voters voting of creditors voting interest that are voted at the meeting. Votes against. Okay, a secured creditor of Thirsty Elephants holding 27% of creditors voting interest that are voted at the meeting votes against the adoption of the business rescue plan. All other secured and unsecured creditors in attendance of the meeting vote for the adoption of the business rescue as the plan presents certain advantages to them. Barbara is concerned that Winelands Packers vote against the adoption of the business rescue plan is detrimental to the successful rescue of Thirsty Elephants. the interests of its employees and the interests of other affected creditors. With reference to the Companies Act 71 of 2008 and relevant case law, advise Barbara on whether she may successfully apply to set aside the vote of Winelands Packers. In your advice, you should discuss the grounds on which an application may be made, the factors that the court should take into account considering such an application, and the effect of setting aside Winelands' vote. I thought I was going to write 2 paragraphs. Anyway, guys, it's 3 things: company law, case law, it's even okay, company law and case law are supporting, but the factors that you must advise on is if she may be successful, the grounds on which she can make this application, and the effect of the court setting it aside, the factors that the court should consider. All right, guys, so I am going to give my suggested answer, and I'm going to give guidelines. I am trying to shed light. You are welcome to post your thoughts, post your suggested answer for us to discuss. We can discuss it as long as you know her plagiarism suspension, plagiarism expelled. All right, I went through my study material, right? One thing to note is that business rescue plan must be accepted by 75% of the creditors. It's just a side note. So the 27% already shows that this rejection, that's just a note. So you run quickly to page 597 of the prescribed book, and then you're gonna do chapter 20, 9.3 under the topic failure to adopt plan. That is where you're going to find Barbara's solution. Barbara must pay us. We're giving free legal advice here. She must pay us. Okay. According to me, Barbara can successfully apply to a court to set aside the vote of Winelands. According to section 153 of the Companies Act, don't write it like me, you must write the subsection and what. I'm still gonna write the subsection. But according to section 153 of the Companies Act 71 of 2008, it states that the practitioner can, where the business rescue plan is rejected, seek a vote of approval from the holders of voting interest to prepare and publish a revised plan, or the practitioner can advise the meeting that the company will apply to set aside the result of the vote by holders of voting interest or shareholders on the ground that it was inappropriate. Right? Barbara may draft or make up the application to set aside Winelands Packers' vote on various grounds. Some of the grounds would be unjustified vote. This is if the court finds, or rather determines, that Wineland Packers abused its voting right by voting against the business rescue plan without a valid justification. That is a valid ground that she can make this application for. Another ground that I found is that if the court can determine that Winelands Packers voted to promote its own interest at the expense of the company's successful rescue and the interest of other creditors. I'm just going to mention two. I'm not going to mention all. Okay? Now, with reference to the case, First Rand FNB, guys, hi man. First Rand Bank LT. Okay. First Rand Bank versus KG Foods I wrote the whole citation, I'll write it here of the case. One of the legal questions in this case was, what are the consequences for the business rescue proceedings once the result of such vote is set aside? That was the legal question, right? The court held that if creditors are allowed to exercise their votes freely, it has been assumed that they would only vote in favor or support of the business rescue plan if its implementation would be to their benefit. Now, this brings us to section 153, subsection 7 of the... Yay! Did you hear that? Subsection 7? Hallelujah, Masalwan. Section 153, subsection 7 of the Companies Act, wherein it is said that a court may order that the vote on a business rescue plan be set aside if the court is satisfied that it is reasonable and justified to do so, taking into consideration. So I've already answered the grounds, ne? Now I'm answering what the court must take into consideration. I've already given the case law. Amen. I straight to admission. Anyway, let me stop joking. Right? A court may order that the vote on a business rescue plan be set aside if the court is satisfied that it is reasonable and justified to do so, taking into consideration that 1, the interest presented by the person or persons who voted against the business plan. This is what they must consider first. The interests presented by the person or persons who voted against the business rescue plan. The court must also take in consideration the provision, if any, made in the proposed business rescue plan with respect to the interest of that person or persons. Must also take into consideration a fair and reasonable estimate of the return to that or those if the company were to be liquidated. These are the factors that must be taken into consideration. In conclusion, if the court was to set aside the vote of Winelands Packers, the outcome thereof being the rejection of the proposed business rescue plan would be nullified. That would be the effect. Anyway, did you come up with anything different? Did I manage to shed light? I will be back with a part 2 of question 2. This is my take on it. You can put it in your own words, write it in a more legally. Pella, this is legal advice that she's not paying it us for. This was my first draft. Obviously, I'm gonna write it in a more pleasing and legal way. But I feel like these pointers that I gave, they're gonna help you answer question 1 and get most of the marks, if not all. I will be back with a video for question 2. Oh gosh, I'm sure I'm gonna write 10 pages there. Anyway, guys, what advice did you give Barbara? What is your take on this? Did I shed light here? Guys, thank you so very much for 1,800 subscribers. I wish we could do more. I wish we could do more. Anyway, I love you so much. Mwah. See you in part 2 of assignment 2 for company law 2nd semester, where I will be doing question 2 and I will be explaining as much as possible. I love you. Mwah.